this is the main news. A warm welcome. My name is Butler Nepurem.
A very good evening. I am Irene Yarambi. Susan Masona is at the Sign Language Desk. Let's take a look at our top stories. President Emmerson Mnangagwa hails the two national heroes, Major General retired Ruwodo and Professor Chinyanga, as patriots.
A British Zimbabwean Dodana Chuma, suspected of triple murder in the UK, appears in a South African court.
And in sport, Dynamos reignite a title dream with an unbeaten run in 11 league matches.
Let's start, of course, with tonight's top story.
The President, Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, has described the two late national heroes, Major General retired Richard Ruwodo and Professor Herbert Mapfumo Chinyanga, as patriots who selflessly contributed to the well-being of the nation.
Well, the President presided over the burial of retired Major General Ruwodo at the National Heroes Acre today, while Professor Chinyanga, a pioneering physician who transformed the country's health sector and medical sector, will be cremated in line with his family's history.
The nation recently lost two national heroes, Major General Richard Ruwodo, who died on the 7th of July in Harare, and Professor Herbert Chinyanga, who passed on in South Africa on the 2nd of July. Thousands gathered at the National Shrine this Monday to witness the burial of Major General Ruwodo, which was presided over by the head of state and government, His Excellency Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa. While Major General Ruwodo was laid to rest this Monday, Professor Chinyanga will be cremated in line with his wishes. President Mnangagwa described the late Major General retired as a man who had unflinching patriotism.
He was a gallant son of the soil who devoted his life to wholeheartedly serve our motherland Zimbabwe with unwavering patriotism, immense honor, and professionalism. Throughout his long career in the military and public service, he exemplified unflinching loyalty as a patriotic commander who fought in the armed liberation struggle.
President Mnangagwa noted how the late Major General Ruwodo sacrificed his career prospects in industry for the battlefield.
The late national hero, Major General retired Ruwodo, gave up his comfort and career prospects in industry to join the armed liberation struggle in 1975 as a Zanla cadre. Comrade Moshe Kwititi, as he was known during the armed liberation struggle, received military training at Chimoio in Mozambique before deployment to the party headquarters in Maputo as Director of Finance, working under the late hero, Comrade Ernest Kadungure.
The late Professor Chinyanga was the country's pioneer black anesthetist, and he is remembered for his immense contribution to the country's medical sector.
Today, we'll also recognize and honor the late national hero, Professor Herbert Mapfumo Chinyanga, who passed on in South Africa on 2nd July 2026 at the age of 86. You will be cremated in line with his wishes. The life history of the late Professor Chinyanga is an epitaph of patriotism, integrity and humility, professional excellency and a selfless service. He was a towering national and pioneering physician whose lifelong service helped to transform the specialization of anesthesia advanced medical education, and strengthened Zimbabwe's healthcare system in our country.
In 1973, he trained as a specialist in anesthesia and intensive care while in Canada. President Mnangagwa said the later Professor Chinyanga had the option of pursuing his career abroad, but instead he chose to come back home and serve his people.
After independence, the late Professor Chinyanga made a bold and defining decision that would forever shape Zimbabwe's medical history. He voluntarily left behind the prestige and opportunities of the developed world to come home to serve his country.
President Mnangagwa said under his administration, all areas of specialization, fields of work and professions remain critical assets in nation building.
Intellectuals are challenged to turn ideas, scientific thought and practice into tangible products and services that transform the lives of our people.
President Mnangagwa also used the platform to highlight that under his administration, the government will continue to work to ensure people-centered decisions and resolutions are accelerated. Josephine Mugio, ZBC News, National Heroes Acre.
Meanwhile, the late national hero Major General retired Richard Ruodo has been described as an astute military officer who served the nation with distinction.
The nation, colleagues and the family of the late national hero Major General retired Richard Ruodo bade farewell to the gallant son of the soil at the National Shrine this Monday, with colleagues describing him as an astute, courageous and dedicated military leader who protected the country's core interests with distinction.
Working closely with the general, for me, started April 1981. He was my direct boss. On integration in 1981, the general was the first black deputy chief paymaster to one Colonel Theodore Bratton, a British. He then rose through the ranks in the Pay Corps, representing the new contingent of the pay cadres.
The retired general was a very hard-working man. He was passionate with his work. He had the qualities of a good leader. He was honest. Brigadier Ruodo then was my director, Army Pay and Records. From there on, he went to be the director of finance at Army Headquarters and also at Defense Forces Headquarters. I know that from the Defense Forces, he later on joined the Ministry of the War Veterans. He was a diligent man and he contributed immensely to the welfare of the Army and also of the war veterans.
The family of the late national hero said they remain indebted to government for honoring one of their own.
Granting of national hero status and his final resting place here at the sacred National Heroes Acre is a statement and a testament to the extraordinary life and unwavering dedication he embodied. This profound recognition by the nation is a source of immense pride and solace to us.
Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage Minister Honorable Kazembe Kazembe said the legacy left by the late national hero should inspire future generations.
Major General retired Ruodo's service to the nation extended into the civil service as he was appointed Chief Director for War Veterans Affairs in the then Ministry of Defense and War Veterans Affairs. In this role, he performed distinctively, ending up acting as the permanent secretary of that ministry. Your Excellency, we are gathered here today as a nation in solemn reflection as we have lost another distinguished son of the soil, Major General retired Richard Ruwodo, a week after laying to rest Major General retired Evaristo Ziwema. The late national hero served the nation with distinction in both the military and civil service for many years, and his legacy should inspire us all.
Major General retired Richard Ruwodo was appointed first black director of the Zimbabwe Army and Pay Records, a position in which he provided strategic leadership and oversight in the development and modernization of the Army Pay Records systems. He is credited for playing a pivotal role in implementing long-term administrative reforms and enhancing operational efficiency in the Zimbabwe National Army. John Nandara, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, the multi-million-dollar Afreximbank Africa Trade Center in Harare has attracted interest from local and external investors as the landmark project prepares to welcome its first occupants by the last quarter of this year.
Construction works for the regional trade hub are nearing completion in a massive boost for Zimbabwe's business sector. According to Integrated Properties Chief Executive Officer Dr. Mike Juru, whose real estate firm is managing the project, local and external investors are interested in operating within the complex.
It has been a couple of years of construction and doing all to come up with perfect finishings that befit the status of the complex. We are going to have a building that has a hotel, that is conference facilities and office block. And the office block is available for companies that are really interested in trade and in their reputation. The building is going to be a green building which is environmentally conscious and which is also designed to preserve the environment. And there's been so much appetite from the tenants aspiring want to be associated with the best thing that we have.
Dr. Juru also explained the importance of the landmark commercial project in establishing Zimbabwe as a major financial and trade capital in Africa.
Afreximbank is about trade, and they are consolidating their position in Zimbabwe to confirm that Zimbabwe we are a strategic hub in the sub-region for trade. If you look, this Southern Africa is the only complex. The other complex that they have, it's in West Africa. With confidence being put in with the plowing in of 120 billion from a single institution, it will definitely give confidence to other players to come in and participate, not only in trade issues, but also in property issues.
The Afreximbank Africa Trade Center is a project designed by the Cairo-based Africa Export-Import Bank to provide intra-African trade and economic development. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
Geological mapping and exploration to unearth the capabilities of the mining industry in line with the value addition and beneficiation drive is expected to dominate proceedings at this year's Mining, Engineering and Transport Expo, Mine Intra, from the 29th to the 31st of this month in Bulawayo.
The focus of the expo this year is not just unearthing minerals but exploration. The season line with ensuring the country does not only unearth minerals but realizes the full potential of the mining value chain.
The business section of the exhibitions must be special this year. It's going to focus after the presentation by the Vice President, Honorable Vice President, will have discussions centered around exploration. We cannot run mines or open big mines if we don't lead them by carrying out a robust exploration program.
The Zimbabwe School of Mines is already walking the talk in exercising value addition in various areas, including gemstone cutting and processing.
We are moving towards a stage whereby we are equipping now our students to be able to make the decision, to be able to integrate, overlay, be it rivers, roads, mining claims, check for early encroachment and dispute resolutions.
Zimbabwe School of Mines principal, Engineer Edwin Gwazwe, stressed the importance of domestic processing in capturing and retaining more value from its mineral resources.
We have actually seen the ban on export of raw ores. So it is very critical that we have skilled people to be able to do value addition. And the school has actually also gone into that space.
Organizers stressed the importance and essence of the theme.
We still continue with the emphasis on beneficiation, on value addition, on ensuring that a significant part of the value chain is domesticated.
Mining contributes about 12 to 15% to the gross domestic product, and it remains a key driver of the country's export earnings. This year's edition of Mine Intra is set to run under the theme Unearth, Transform, Prosper, anchoring economic transformation through mining value chains. Lisa Correa, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Well, the country is set to host the first ever Zimbabwe Industrialization Conference and Expo that's been organized by the Ministry of Industry and Commerce in partnership with development think tank Africa Economic Development Strategies. Our business reporter, Owen Mandova, spoke to Executive Director of the Africa Economic Development Strategies, Professor Gift Mugamno, on the expected outcomes of this upcoming conference.
What do you think that this conference is going to provide as value, given that year in, year out, we do have conferences that are held? How do you think that this is not yet another talk show?
This conference is unique in the sense that it is preceded by a study, the State of Industry study, which is AEDS, together with the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, carried out, covering all provinces, all districts, all the 22 sectors, manufacturing sectors, around 9 thematic areas which are affecting industry. It makes it unique in the sense that it's going to be an evidence-based conference. And our view, working with the ministry, under the guidance of the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, we are going to have focus group discussion, thematic areas, conversations, which are centered around these 9 areas which we studied around.
Last year, government launched the National Development Strategy 2, which is going to elevate Zimbabwe into becoming an upper middle income society by the year 2030. How do you think that this conference aligns with those aspirations?
ZAIS is creating a platform for conversation to create a disruptive approach and thinking to the economy. In terms of our exports, 6.7% of our exports are value added. 92% of our exports are raw materials. Only 3.3% are services. So we are primary commodity-driven exports, and that is the reversal this NDS2 is going to be driving. And the ZAIS becomes a catalyst or a platform with which we are going to now address the impediments which are holding us back from value adding, which are holding us back from substituting imports which should be domesticating as a country. So this is not going to be a talk show. Even in terms of our speakers, we are going to pull out chapters from the study for them then to speak to it and say what is it they can value add, because we also have solutions which have been provided in that study.
If you may kindly just highlight to us the interest so far, since it is just over a week before this conference takes place.
The news which filtered that His Excellency, the President, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, is going to be attending, then gave the impetus to the conference, because it shows the political statement by the highest office that this is a national event. It's not just a conference.
More than 1,000 delegates are expected to grace this inaugural event, drawn from governments, state-owned enterprises, the private sector and academia. Regional and multilateral institutions are also expected to attend. These include the World Bank, the United Nations, SADC, COMESA, and other related organizations. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
The Registrar General, Mr. Henry Machiri, says the Civil Registry is fully capacitated to manage the country's voters' roll. This comes after the President, Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, signed Constitutional Amendment Act No. 3 into law, transferring the function from the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. Let's get that report from Panashe Nagoli.
The Constitutional Amendment Act number 3, which came into effect last week Tuesday, following assent by the President, Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, transfers the role of voter registration, compiling and ensuring the proper custody and maintenance of the voters' roll and registers from the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission to the Registrar General's office. But is the Civil Registry Department capacitated to perform that particular electoral function? Well, in an interview with ZBC News this Monday, the Registrar General, Mr. Henry Machiri, says the department is well positioned to effectively maintain the voters' roll.
We are confident to take over. Is according to the law, we have the capacity to do it. Remember, this department used to be responsible for the voter registration since 1980 until 2013. So this function was not under our purview for the past 13 years, and it was with ZEC. So yes, we are ready for it. We are capacitated. What we were running then was the ward-based voters roll, whereby your name only appears in your ward. So if your ward has got 5 polling stations, it meant that your name was going to appear in voters roll in 5 polling stations. So when ZEC took over, they developed what we call a polling station-based voters roll. So your name only appears currently in one voters roll at one particular polling station. Now that we are taking over, this is the system we are taking over. We'll be running the election, because that was an advancement which they did. So there's no need of going back.
Before the adoption of the 2013 Constitution, the voters' roll was actually managed by the Registrar General, but was later transferred to the Electoral Management Body owing to several issues. Legacy issues, Mr. Machiri says government has dealt with.
Yes, government has addressed them. The database which we have, that is the national database of each and every person in Zimbabwe, each and every person who is dying. So yes, that system is able. That's where we build the voters' roll from.
The Registrar General also outlined digitization efforts underway to ensure effective voters' roll management.
It starts from the national database, the population database. That's where we start, and that's where we are upgrading a lot of things. We are going to be sitting down with ZEC. It's not just a question of them handing over, but we are going to be sitting down, knowing what they've been doing, and then we take it from there, and technically we then look at where we need again to upgrade.
A 2024 report released by the Zimbabwe Election Support Network states that the effectiveness and credibility of any election hinges on proper voter registration and an up-to-date voters' roll, functions which the Civil Registry Department says they are ready to perform. Panashe Nagoli, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Local Government, Public Works and National Housing came face-to-face with unplanned settlements in Greater Harare, while at the same time also witnessing urban renewal in action in Mbare suburb.
Monday, the 13th of July, is the day that the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Local Government, Public Works and National Housing, chaired by Mazowe Central Legislator Honorable Maximo Njanji, had a fact-finding mission in informal settlements in the greater part of Harare. The Parliamentary Committee was accompanied by officials from the city of Harare, residents, representatives and other stakeholders.
We've seen the good works which the Second Public is doing, which the government is doing, providing decent accommodation for its people. And also we have seen the goodness of private-public partnership. This partnership between Harare City Council and ED-Aid, I think it's coming into alleviating the issues of these shortages.
We are happy that in our partnering with ED-Aid 1, they have shown what is possible. And it is that what they have shown that we intend to replicate throughout the city.
ED-Aid 1 projects manager Mr. Tino Pandey said the Mbare block will be completed by Friday, then embark on other flats.
The works are already at 85%, and we're hoping to have completed this project by Friday, this coming Friday. And we aim that in the process of us getting there, we continue to urge all the people within the community to remain vigilant in terms of us having to have handed over a beautiful project to them, back into their hands, that they'll be able to maintain and sustain that which we've given them.
Mbare residents are grateful to President Emmerson Mnangagwa's leadership, which is promoting urban renewal.
Naomba social media itaiwa ndezvekunyepa AI aiwa ndofunga mauya mazozviona kuti haisi AI iri kuti toda kutenda ED8 nebasa guru kunyanyanya Engineer Collins Mnangagwa nekutumwa kwavakaitwa nemutungamiriri wenyika kuti vauye vazotibatsira vagari vekuno kuMbare.
Ma main problems edu anga ari emvura nesuwa, but tikatarisa izvezvi ndo zvinhu zvakutanga kuadreswa ezvinezvi.
In Mbare, blocks of flats are getting a new look with ablution facilities being attended to, window panels are being repaired with, of course, paintings. The parliamentary committee went to Epworth, Glenview, Hopley, among other informal settlements. Bruce Chawanda, SABC News, Harare.
Implementation of Zimbabwe's agriculture, food systems and rural transformation strategy is gathering momentum in Mbire district, with the Kanyamba Community Irrigation Scheme a leading example. 11 center pivots have now been installed, paving way for irrigation in over 170 hectares as government moves to strengthen food security in the drought-prone area.
Following the installation of 11 center pivots covering 176 hectares, government has made a commitment to boost food security in the Kanyamba area of Mbire district.
The project has brought renewed hope to a community that has endured years of poor harvests due to recurrent drought, with traditional leaders and beneficiaries calling for the speedy completion of the scheme.
Irrigation yakandinakira kunzvimbo kwangu nechikonzo chokuti ine 176 hectares ne 356 mafarmers varimo mukati. Iwao vakangokwana kudaro paka tikafamba zvakanaka kureva kuti wadi yangu yese kunenge kusisina nzara.
Tine irrigation yataurwa yafambirwa nevakuru vedu. Ndafara chaizvo nezvayo. Munhu wese ngabenefit.
Ndotanga kutenda president vakaita kuti vatiunzirewo zvemadiridziro kuno kuMbire.
During a tour of the project, a special advisor to the president on monitoring and implementation of government programs, Dr. Joram Gumbo, said the initiative reflects a government's commitment to ensuring that no community is left behind in the quest for national food security.
His Excellency's mantra to say no area or place should be left behind in terms of food security, this is the answer to it. I'm pleased to report that the area of 176 hectares has already been fenced and electrified. The system is being tested and is now functional, and that water is available and that all the inputs are available.
National and Central Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Christopher Magomo, is confident the irrigation scheme will help the district overcome the effects of recurrent drought.
This is a milestone to this area as I am foreseeing a green belt in the low veld. This area is a dry area. They want to put up a sugar bean crop, which in 3 months will be ready for harvesting.
The irrigation scheme is expected to draw power from a 1.1 megawatt solar plant.
Upon completion of this entire project, 2,000 hectares of land will be under irrigation, not only building climate resilience, but boosting food security. Itapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Mbire.
Well, Vice President Kenno retired Dr. Kembo Mohadi has arrived in Venice, Italy, where he's leading Zimbabwe's delegation to the 61st International Art Exhibition of the Venice Biennale.
Vice President Mohadi was received at the Venice Marco Polo Airport by Zimbabwe's envoy to Italy, Ambassador Mietani Chauke. He is accompanied by the Minister of Sports, Recreation, Arts and Culture, Lieutenant General Retired Anselm Sanyatwe, Permanent Secretary in his office, Dr. Benson Dube, and other senior government officials. Vice President Mohadi's visit underscores the Second Republic's commitment to cultural diplomacy, promoting Zimbabwe's creative economy and strengthening international partnership through the arts.
So we've come here to benchmark and see what we can possibly do, where we have got shortcomings and where we can actually improve ourselves on. That's why we're here.
Vice President Mohadi is expected to tour Zimbabwe's pavilion and engage with artists, curators, and other participating nations as the Second Republic continues to support the growth of the country's arts and culture sector as an important pillar of economic diplomacy and international engagement. Olina Ndori, ZBC News, Venice.
Right, that story by Olin and all others, you can find them if you go to our website. But also something exciting, you can also check our new app that is all of our content, not just the news bulletin, but all of the ZBC content, including radio and television. You can find that on the app. Our new OTT platform is called Z Plus. You can go on Apple iStore as well as the Google Play Store, and you can download that lot. The Z Plus app is available on both platforms. It was recently launched. As you can see from the images on your screen, there was a huge launch for it, and there is a great deal of content that you can follow there. So just in case you might have missed anything there or what is taking place on ZBC TV, you can always find it on that platform. So you need to download that content and get all the latest bits on what's taking place on ZBC TV. Also, like I indicated, you can also find all the radio channels there. For those of you who would like to live stream, you can all find it all on Z Plus. www.zbcnews.co.zw is still very much available for you. That is our website for all your news content. We are also still available on X and Facebook and all other social media platforms. ZBC News Online is the handle. But this is what you can look forward to on the other side of this bulletin.
A Zimbabwean British man, Ndoda Nachuma, accused of murdering his wife and two daughters in the United Kingdom, appears in South African court. And in sport, Dynamo's reignite title dream with an unbeaten run in 11 league matches. Main News takes a break. We'll be back with these and more stories.
From 11 June to 19 July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Catch all 104 matches from as little as $10. Live on SuperSport, only on DSTV.
The Ministry of Industry and Commerce, in collaboration with Africa Economic Development Strategies and Zimtrade, invites you to the first ever Zimbabwe Industrialization Conference and Expo, ZIS, scheduled to take place on the 23rd to the 24th of July 2026 at the Harare International Conference Center's main auditorium under the theme Accelerating Industrialization Through Regional Value Chains, Innovation and Trade. The ZIS conference will be officially opened by His Excellency, the President Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, brings together policymakers, academia, industry leaders, diplomats, importers, exporters, and the business community to come up with strategies that strengthen the industrialization agenda through high-level evidence-based policy discussions. To participate as a delegate or exhibitor, call Rivimbo on 0712-385-024 or Natalie on 0783-180-866. Do not miss this opportunity to be part of the narrative that shapes Zimbabwe's economic landscape as the nation progresses towards Vision 2030.
Tired of long journeys and queues? Accessing NASA benefits just got a whole lot easier. Introducing the new NASA Claims Portal. Whether you're at the normal retirement age of 60 or 65 for late retirement, you can now claim online from the comfort of your home or office. Registered contributors can also claim for invalidity if below 60 years and medically certified incapacitated, or early retirement at age 55 for arduous occupations. It's faster, better, and just a few clicks away. Claim today at selfservice.nasa.org.zw. NASA, a lifelong promise.
Ready to run for a purpose? Join the Alumni and UZ Friends Half Marathon 2026. It's open to everyone. Alumni, running clubs, corporate teams, students, families, friends, and the entire community. Choose your distance: 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, or the half marathon. Register today for just $20 US. Your entry includes an official race kit, a finisher's medal, and helps support University of Zimbabwe students with tuition, accommodation, and learning materials. Can't run? Well, donate on paynow.co.zw/UZ donations. Don't wait. Register today. To register, visit Hype Nation and our social media handles. The University of Zimbabwe Alumni and Friends of Marathon 2026. Run with purpose. Run with pride.
The Civil Registry Department under the Ministry of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage is proud to host the annual expert group meeting for African Registrars General in Victoria Falls from the 17th to the 22nd of July 2026. The meeting will bring together civil registration experts and delegates from across Africa to share experiences and strengthen civil registration systems that ensure every birth, marriage and death is registered and every person has a legal identity. Hosted under the theme New CRVS Decade 2026 to 2036, Consolidating the Gains of Africa program on accelerated improvement of civil registration and vital statistics, API CRVS, and securing the future of civil registration and vital statistics in Africa through integration, decentralization, and digitalization. The conference marks a new chapter in Africa's journey towards legal identity for all. Zimbabwe is honored to host this important continental meeting and welcomes all delegates to Victoria Falls. Civil Registry Department, caring for vital civil registration events and travel documents.
Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned. You're still watching the main news. Now, Zimbabwean national Ndodana Mkhanyisi Chuma, accused of murdering his wife and two daughters in the United Kingdom, has appeared in a South African court. This comes after British authorities have filed an application seeking extradition of the murder suspect, who also holds a British citizenship. Pavo Makona has more.
Ndodana Mkhanyisi Chuma, age 45, appeared at the Johannesburg Magistrate Court this Monday, facing charges of murdering his wife and two daughters this month. The bodies of his wife, Notabo Zandile Chuma, aged 42, and their two daughters, Natalie, aged 15, and Nala, aged 5, were discovered at their home in Great Denham, near Bedford, on the 6th of this month. The United Kingdom's Crown Prosecution Service has authorized 3 counts of murder against Chuma. South African Police Service spokesperson Athlenda Mate said proceedings relate to the extradition request as well as a charge of illegal possession of firearms. She also said South Africa has received a provisional extradition request from Interpol Manchester through Interpol Pretoria and is awaiting a full extradition request within 40 days, which will include the case docket as well as supporting evidence. Police said Chuma travelled from Heathrow Airport in London to South Africa via Dubai. Investigators said he also briefly travelled to Zimbabwe before returning to Johannesburg. The murder suspect was arrested in the Kensington suburb of Johannesburg on Friday and remains in custody pending further court proceedings. Chuma also stands accused of illegal possession of a firearm, and the matter was postponed to the 22nd of this month pending verification of his arrest. Pavo Makona, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, the government has stepped up efforts to capacitate the new reparations department in the Ministry of Local Government and Public Works after purchasing a fleet of vehicles to ensure operational efficiency.
Speaking after commissioning over 30 vehicles at the Department of Civil Protection in Harare this Monday, the Minister of Local Government and Public Works, Honorable Daniel Garwe, said government remains committed to improving the delivery of government services through capacitation.
I want to thank His Excellency the President. He has made it a success now that the minister has been capacitated through Ministry of Finance, and they've given us resources to be able to acquire some of the vehicles that are here. The other vehicles were acquired through our development partners. And we have vehicles for our engineers in the districts. You are aware the ministry is hugely devolved. So we said we want to distribute these vehicles, not starting with the head office, but starting with the districts. So our engineers, our DDCs in the various districts are going to be receiving vehicles. That will enhance mobility, that will enhance visibility, that will enhance their ability to be able to supervise projects, to be able to implement government policies at the local level.
Minister Gary also added that focus is now on the attainment of economic goals of Vision 2030 after the enactment of the Constitutional Amendment Act No. 3.
No district is going to be left behind. All the 92 local authorities in the country is covered. But we've put more emphasis on the 60 rural district councils, because that's where the bulk of the work needs to be done. We are aware that Constitutional Amendment Bill No. 3 is done and dusted. We now have law. So there is no point for us now to keep on focusing on ensuring that is the law there, is law not there. The law is now there. The expectations of Vision 2030 is what is driving us now to move. We must develop our country.
Now the vehicles will be deployed to the provincial ministry offices with priority given to rural officers. Panashe Nagoli, ZBC News, Harare.
The government has rallied the church to continue playing an active role in peace building and promoting good governance in the country. This emerged at an intersection crusade held in Guruve on Sunday in the aftermath of the serial murders that occurred in the area.
Members of the St. John Apostolic Church of the Whole World and government leaders gathered at Guruve Primary School for a spiritual intercession crusade aimed at bringing peace and consolation to communities traumatized by the gruesome killings of incarcerated serial murder suspect Enimo Ritsa.
Tauya pano panzvimbo yeGuruve patiri kuita crusade, patiri kushumira shoko raMwari kuti nyika igotendeuka, igopona nekupomodza zvaiitika nguva yapfuura. Tinoziva kuti munzvimbo ine yeGuruve takambosangana nedambudziko rakakura chaizvo, panova vamwe vedu vanga vabatwa nemweya wakaipa wekudeura ropa. Saka tinongonamata kuna Mwari kuti Mwari vadzikamise mweya iwoyu uyezve vanhu vagare murunyararo.
Tauya muno munzvimbo yeGuruve Central tizobatsirana navanhu kuno kunamata, tichingotendawo hurumende yedu inotendera tinamate zvakasununguka tiri mukati menyika yedu.
Zvose masvondo tinofanira kuramba tichirangarira zvekare vanhu nehama neshamwari dzatinonamata nadzo kana dzatisinganamati nadzo dziri mucommunity, but muri mumatakabva. Saka tinoti Guruve yatishandura.
National and Central Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Christopher Magomo, said government is committed to supporting families recovering from the tragedy.
Newewo kana uri mundi chita kamwana akanaka. Nyaya dzaparidzwa pano dzekuroora vana vadiki zvafanana nekukohwa chibage chinyoro zvaparidzwa pano. Nyaya dzeumbavha dzataurwa pano. Nyaya dzeubhinya dzataurwa pano. Zvino ndo mabasa anoita masangano akarongeka. Machechi anotibatsira zvakawanda maringe nekutonga nyika.
Church leaders led prayers for peace and reconciliation in the Guruve community and the nation at large. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Guruve.
Well, public-private partnerships are accelerating community development, with Makusha Township in Shirugwi receiving solar-powered streetlights and a bus from Chinese mining firm Chengxi Chengetai Investments. This move is expected to enhance public safety, sport and local development in the area.
Residents of Makusha Township in Shirugwi are celebrating improved security and enhanced sporting opportunities after the commissioning of solar-powered streetlights and a team bus to Shirugwi Football Club by Chengxi Chengetai Investments. The intervention is expected to improve visibility, reduce crime and ease transport challenges for the football club, allowing more resources to be channeled towards player development.
Fara ndikuwanikwa katika malights munharaunda yeshurugu tanga tichiita macases akawanda ema-robberies.
Empowering communities remains central to Shengxi Chengetai Investments Corporate Social Responsibility Program.
Our CSR program is hinged on grassroots community initiatives targeting thematic areas such as health, sporting, agriculture, infrastructure development, but really implementing programs and projects with high impact which target grassroots community initiatives.
Government has applauded the partnership, describing it as a model for inclusive community development driven by collaboration between the public and private sectors.
Inguva ye development toda kufamba tichibudirira, leaving no one and no place behind. Ndokusaka tiri pano toda kutenda na marights avatiwisira.
I call upon other corporates in Midlands Province to emulate Shengxi Chengetai Investments community empowerment interventions that bolster Zimbabwe's vision of the attainment of our national motto, Vision 2030.
The initiative aligns with the National Development Strategy 2, which promotes partnerships between government and the private sector to accelerate infrastructure development, community empowerment, and improved service delivery.
Main News takes a breather. We will be back with some more updates.
Starbright is back. Bigger, louder, life-changing. Do you have what it takes to be a star? This is your moment to shine. Stand a chance to win $3,000 cash, plus a residential stand, a recording contract, and many other exciting complimentary prizes. For one life-changing winner, all it takes is a bold decision. Registration is only $5 per person. $5 could unlock your future. $5 could launch your dream. So, what are you waiting for? Register now for only $5 using our easy WhatsApp registration system. Simply send hi to the official Starbright WhatsApp number 0786-259-971. Follow the prompts to submit your details. Upload your audition video directly on WhatsApp, less than 60 seconds long. Make your payment. Receive instant confirmation of your registration. It's fast, simple, and convenient. Thousands will audition, but only a few will rise to greatness. Don't watch others become stars while you stay in the shadows. This could be your season. This could be your breakthrough. This could be your Starbright moment. Starbright Season 14. It's your time to shine.
Her growth. Stanbic Bank is a registered commercial bank and a member of the Deposit Protection Scheme.
Beneath our soil lies more than mineral wealth. It is opportunity, innovation, and the foundation of Zimbabwe's industrial future. From resource extraction to value addition, manufacturing, transport, and energy, Zimbabwe is driving growth through mining value chains. And every year, the leaders shaping this future gather under one roof. Welcome to MineEntra 2026, the premier platform where mining companies, suppliers, investors, innovators, and policymakers connect, collaborate, and unlock new opportunities. Join us from the 29th to the 31st of July 2026 at the Zimbabwe International Conference and Exhibition Smart City in Bulawayo. Exhibit at MineEntra 2026 to expand your network and grow your business. Register your attendance today. MineEntra 2026. Unearth, transform, prosper. Anchoring economic transformation through mining value chain.
This July, Zimbabwe will host the inaugural SMEs and Cooperatives Indaba under the theme Towards Vision 2030, building an enabling micro, small and medium enterprises and cooperatives ecosystem. The official opening will be presided over by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. Joint government, financial institutions, development partners, the private sector, business associations, academia, MSMEs, and cooperatives for 2 days of high-level policy dialogue, innovation showcases, exhibitions, networking, and investment opportunities. Also witness the launch of the revised National Cooperative Development Societies policy and celebrate excellence excellence at the National SMEs and Cooperatives Awards. Be part of the conversations shaping Zimbabwe's enterprise future. Join us at the Harare International Conference Center, HICC, on the 16th to the 17th of July 2026. Together, let us build an enabling ecosystem that unlocks enterprise growth, innovation, industrialization, and inclusive economic development. The inaugural National SMEs and Cooperatives Indaba 2026, brought to you by the Ministry of Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development.
Welcome back. You're still on the main news. Let's take a look at the arts now. Oh, he was a screen icon in the 1970s. Patrick Chirodza, the character behind Tiki lead act that defined what was then referred to as the Bioscope era. Theophilus Chuma had a chat with him.
In the 1970s, just slightly over a decade before I was born, there was a household name that made headlines in the then Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe. This was a name that was associated with the acting industry, popularly known by the character Tiki. This was a name that made headlines, and obviously for the good reasons. Tiki was not just only hilarious, but he made life so simple. We traced the footsteps back to the period of Tiki, managing to track the name behind the popular Tiki figure, and that's Patrick Chirodza, who now resides in Domboshava. So in order to really appreciate who Tiki was, we managed to make a visit to his place of residence here in Domboshava. And we were welcomed by Mr. Patrick Chirodza, who became popularly known as Tiki during the Rhodesian era. Kogoi baba, kogoi mama. Kwazoe, kwazoe. Magasimera mai. Tinotenda. Oh mama totigadzirira mvura. All right. Ngatitaurei nezva Tiki, nhoroondo yaTiki. Ndiani ainzi Tiki
akatanga? Tiki aive achishanda muguta raHarare kugore ra 1970. Ndokuwana hanzvadzi yamai vake vaitsvaka kuzvawo basa ndobva vangosanganidzana nevanhu vaida kuti vaigadzire mifananidzo yaTiki.
Mazuva amanga muchipisa saTiki, tinoda kuti tinyatsonzwisisa kuti chaita kuti vanhu vazoti vakatarisa hanzi vanhu vaioma mupabvu nekuseka, vakangokuti iba chete, vamwe vaibva vatogara pasi chaiko nekuseka.
Maitiro andoita ini zvaita kunge ndiri tailor-made kuita danho racho iroro, zvekuti zvaitenge sekunge ndanga ndakakodzera, saka zvaibva zvangofambirana.
Mbuya havapo, tinoziva kuti panguva yemunhu apa anenge achipisa ava nekutsvagai vakawanda vanenge vachitsvaga vachiti Tiki.
Makore acho iwayo semunhu angati tiri mudikiwo, ndakanga ndine 21 years kuberekwa. Ndanga ndichiri kutarisiswa neruzhinji zvekuti ndaitarisirwawo kuveretsa ruro mukati mevanhu vacho.
He is now 75 years and soon will be turning 76 in November, but still popularly known to everyone as Tiki. It's a name that is stuck on him for a remarkable 54 years after making it big on the huge screen, back then known as Bioscope. The way the 90s generation remember Mr. Bean is how Tiki mesmerized the 1970s period with his outstanding theatrics filled with classical silent comedy. only that his peers, Mr. Bean and Charlie Chaplin, walked away with millions, while he only walked away with fame. Theophilus Chuma, SABC News, Domboshava.
That walk down memory lane takes us to a break. We will be back with Anna Shimrombedzi giving us our sport.
For over a decade, Zimbabwe waited. Now our game returns. One nation, one competition, one dream. Bringing Zimbabweans together through the game they love. From juniors to professionals, from beach soccer to futsal, from every corner of Zimbabwe. A pathway from community fields to national teams. The Munumutapa Challenge Cup is calling all genders, all regions, all of Zimbabwe. The biggest cup challenge this nation has ever seen. Follow the journey, support your team, be part of history. From 11 June to 19 July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Catch all 104 matches from as little as $10 live on SuperSport, only on DSTV.
Welcome to the Sports Corner. Anna Shimrombedzi here with the latest in the world of sport. Now, Harare Giants Dynamos have emerged as genuine title contenders after stretching their unbeaten run to 11 matches, despite a season overshadowed by off-field turmoil.
Written off before a ball was kicked, Dynamos are proving that class, belief and character never fed. The Harare Giants have gone unbeaten in 11 league matches and are firmly back in the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League title conversation. With a turmoil and a fallout with coach Genesis Mangombe before his eventual departure by mutual consent, and a squad many believed lacked the quality to compete with the league's financial heavyweights, Dimbare looked destined for a difficult campaign. But somewhere along the way, the sleeping giant woke up. Whether it was by default or design, Dynamos have rediscovered the ingredient that has defined the club throughout its illustrious history, that is belief. The Glamour Boys are unbeaten in their last 11 league matches, winning 6 and drawing 5. Dynamos have 3 successive victories, including completing the remaining 14 minutes of their abandoned clash against Hard Rock to move on to 40 points, while the trail log leader Scotland by 9 points and are 2 points behind the second placed Hard Rock, with momentum firmly in Zimbabwe's most successful club. Goals have also returned as well. Dynamos have scored 35 league goals, 2 behind Scotland and 1 fewer than Hard Rock, with Ghanaian striker Frank Ajiman enjoying a sensational campaign. After scoring only 1 last season, he boasts of 11 goals this campaign. Bedo hardened midfielder Shadrack Nyawo has controlled the proceedings from the middle of the park. Isaac Lando provides a steal in defense, while Moses Demera has made the telling contributions from the bench. Perhaps the biggest difference in Dynamos are no longer relying on one player. Goals are coming from all departments, while every player works for the badge, hunting in packs and playing with the unity that once made Dimbare the benchmark of Zimbabwean football. In an era dominated by ambitious, well-funded clubs such as Scotland, Hard Rock and Gezi Platinum, Dynamos are once again reminding everyone why belief, culture and history remain football's greatest strength. The sleeping giant has awakened, and if this resurgence continues, the Glamour Boys could once again have a major say in where this season's championship ends up. Lawrence Trusida, ZBC News, Harare.
Former Premier Soccer League stars Evans Wekwerere, Edward Sadomba and Oscar Machapa will get a chance to test their pedigree against the current crop of top-flight talent after Norton Big Boys booked their place in the round of 32 of the Zifa Munumutapa Challenge Cup with a 2-0 victory over Nottingham FC in Buybridge this Sunday.
Norton Big Boys continued with their impressive Munumutapa Challenge Cup journey after a comfortable 2-0 victory over Nottingham FC at Tulibazim Stadium, sealing their place in the round of 32. The win means the Division 2 side, which boasts former Premier Soccer League stars Evans Kwekwerere, Edward Sadomba, Valentine Ndaba and Oscar Machapa, among others, will have the opportunity to test their pedigree against Zimbabwe's elite clubs when the competition enters the next stage. The round of 32 will see the 18 Kaslaga Premier Soccer League clubs join 14 teams that have successfully negotiated the preliminary rounds. Norton Big Boys forward Evans Kwekwerere believes his side is ready to face an opponent as they chase Munumutapa Cup glory.
We are ready for any team, and the boys are geared up, and we are not afraid of any team so that we can progress to the next level.
The competition introduced this year is bringing together grassroots, lower division and Premier Soccer League clubs in a single national knockout tournament, creating a pathway for emerging talent to be identified.
We are happy to see these games being played here at the Munumutapa Cup, especially as for us here in Beijing. It's an advantage to us because we actually do development of players.
The good part of Munumutapa competition is it gives chance to everyone from tender age. You get the chance to prove yourself. Are you a player, a football player?
The teams that have progressed to the round of 32 include Chati Dege, Gwanda Pirates, Kwekwe United, Chile, Jordan, Moss Under-19 and BlackRock. The winners of the Munumutapa Challenge Cup will represent Zimbabwe in the CAF Confederation Cup. Aifeli Modau, ZBC News, Bridge.
Zimbabwe is set to offer a CAF A coaching course for the first time in almost a decade, marking another milestone in the Zimbabwe Football Association, ZIFA's drive to strengthen the country's football development structures.
For the first time since 2017, Zimbabwe will next month open enrollment for a CAF A coaching course, ending a decade-long absence from hosting the continental governing body's top coaching programs. The CAF A coaching course returns after engagements by the new ZIFA board to restore Zimbabwe's standing within CAF coach education program. As part of that restoration, the CAF B license course is already underway, with participants in the second module, which has attracted participants from Eswatini and Botswana. The program is being delivered under CAF's upgraded diploma-based curriculum, which is designed to equip coaches with contemporary coaching methodologies and principles.
Coaches who are participating in all African competition need a certain level of qualification. And you remember the example of Simba Bora last year. They went to play in CAF competition, and they did not have coaches who could sit on the bench. So this is what we are trying to sort out now.
CAF coaches assessor Ona Chanza has also commended the country's progress, expressing confidence that Zimbabwe is well on course to fully regain its status as a regular host of a CAF coaching process.
It's a very giant step that ZIFA has taken to apply to CAF and to be compliant to the 8 criteria, because this will open up the development of football.
The return of the CAF A coaching course is expected to address Zimbabwe's shortage of qualified coaches and broaden the country's coaching base. According to ZIFA, Zimbabwe has around 40 actively practicing CAF A licensed coaches, with the majority working in the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League and the education system. Lawrence Tusida, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, it was a busy day for me as I went out to cover the preparations for the Confederation of Southern African Netball Association Kusana Club Championships, and the stage is set for the first of its kind to be hosted on home soil, with the top clubs from the region arriving in Zimbabwe ahead of the regional tournament, which gets underway this Tuesday. Here are the details. The battle lines are drawn as Southern Africa's finest netball clubs descend on Sunrise Sports Club this Tuesday for a high-stakes title showdown running until the 20th of this month. Now, 11 visiting teams from Eswatini, Lesotho, Namibia and Zambia are set to battle for top owners against the host nation's top 5 ZDF Queens, Chapungu, Black Mambas, Harare City, as well as Makati High Flyers.
We've got the SRC clearance and we've got
clubs that have promised that they're coming. So already we've got 3 that have arrived. So we're expecting possibly 8 more to come, including the Zimbabweans. They'll be boarding at the ZESA training facility and the Institute of Technology for now.
With the aim of qualifying for the 2027 World Cup, clubs are using the competition as a benchmark to ensure strong representation from Southern Africa at the global tournament.
We have not provided ourselves with a lot of competition time for our clubs. You know, when there's a lot of competition time for different clubs, it also raises the class or standard of the playing standards in the region, and it also raises the number of countries that can go and participate at the World Cup.
As DF Queens, the runners-up last time out are hungry for redemption, but standing in their way are the defending champions, the Royal Flames of Eswatini, who have no intentions of surrendering their crown. Now, the home crowd will be the X factor, and the big question is whether it will be enough to dethrone the champions. Anna Shemrombedzi, ZBC News, Harare. We'll surely be giving you the updates as the day of the tournament will unfold. Now, 2 of European football's most storied nations, Spain and France, will collide in a FIFA World Cup semi-final this Tuesday in a contest that has all the makings of a final itself.
Spain, the 2010 world champions, and France will lift the trophy in 2018, renew a World Cup rivalry for only the second time since their sole previous meeting 20 years ago in Germany, when France came from behind to beat Spain 3-1 in the round of 16 on their way to the final. History, however, slightly favors La Roja. Across 38 meetings in all competitions, Spain have won 18 times compared to France 13, with 7 matches ending in draws. France have been one of the tournament's standout teams, combining defensive solidity with a potent attack as they booked their place in the last 4. Captain Kylian Mbappe has once again led from the front with 8 goals, level with Lionel Messi in the Golden Boot race. Spain's journey has been less straightforward but equally impressive. Mikel Merino has emerged as the hero in the knockout rounds, netting dramatic late winners against Portugal and Belgium to propel Spain into their first World Cup semi-final since lifting the trophy in South Africa in 2010. With a place in the World Cup final against either England or Argentina at stake, Tuesday night's showdown at Dallas Stadium promises to be another memorable chapter in one of international football's greatest rivalries.
This is set for a high-stakes showdown, but let's leave it for tomorrow evening. That's it from the Sports Corner. Let's take a look at the weather.
Good evening, Zimbabwe, and welcome to tonight's weather report and forecast with a bit of cloudiness over the southeastern parts of the country, but by afternoon, most of our cloud was over the northeastern parts of the country, covering Mashonaland provinces, including parts of Matabeleland North and northern parts of the Midlands. However, towards evening, we had cold conditions. We were expecting them to be still cold as we get into tomorrow, especially in the interior of the country, except for the Zambezi Valley. We were expecting about 15 degrees, which is in the mild category. By afternoon, we're expecting the northern parts to still warm up just a little bit. We're expecting a few in the upper 20s, but the rest of the country below 25 degrees Celsius in terms of our maximum temperatures for Bulawayo. Thus, we're expecting it to be mild for much of this week, with 24s projected there, only warming up to about 26 as we get into the weekend. For Matopo, also the same morning temperatures in the cold category, but it warms up by afternoon to the mild category, whilst Gwanda is projected to be mild for much of this week, only warming up as we get into Saturday. For Masvingo, we're expecting still mild conditions across board, and same for Gweru, with mostly below 25 for much of this week. Morning temperatures in the cold category, whilst Mutare also has single digits in the morning, but it warms up to the mild category by afternoon with a bit of cloudiness here and there. Same for Nyanga, we're expecting maximums to be in the 20s for the first few days, and it cools down to about 19, 22 for Marandra for much of this week, but it warms up to about 25 on Saturday. Expecting 23s for much of this week, tomorrow at 24. 26 is projected for Kwekwe. For much of this week, it warms up to about 28 degrees as we get into the weekend. For Kadoma, we're expecting morning temperatures in the cool category, but it warms up to about 27 degrees for tomorrow. Chinhoyi, 28 by afternoon for tomorrow, with a bit of cloudiness here and there. Pane, a bit of scattered cloud with maximums reaching about 28 degrees, whilst Bindura is at 26 by afternoon for Tuesday and Wednesday, but it also cools down as we get into the later parts of this week. Same for Victoria Falls, cooling down to about 27 as we get into Wednesday. 28 is our maximum for Kariba as we get into Wednesday. A bit of cooling there, but still we urge you that it's a bit chilly in the morning, so please take care.
Many thanks to the Met Department for giving us that weather report, and that wraps up the bulletin.
Indeed. Don't forget to download the Z Plus app on Google Play Store as well as the Apple iStore. From us, be sure to join us again tomorrow.
Good night.